Raw was taped in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Paul Heyman appeared with Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed to start the show. Then he left them and met with Austin Theory backstage, who gave his reasons why he was the masked man and how he admires the Vision. Then we go to another place backstage where Rhea Ripley is telling Io Sky that she can't protect her out there for her match with Asuka. And Io's back, her lower back actually, was taped after Kairi Sane gave her the insane elbow drop last week. And she asks Io to stay backstage. Io reluctantly agrees, and then they hug like they're a couple. And then Rhea makes her way through Gorilla, makes her entrance, gets a big pop, of course she does. And then we actually have Christmas trees and wrapped presents displayed on stage. And you also have Christmas lights displayed on the LED boards near the barricades or on the barricades. And then Asuka made her entrance alongside Kairi Sane, and we get our opening matchup for the night. Rhea Ripley taking on Asuka. The announcers revealed that Asuka has never beaten Rhea Ripley. The highest profile match that they ever had together was at WrestleMania 37 when Rhea Ripley beat Asuka to win the Raw Women's Championship at that time. And Kairi got involved in this match as the referees distracted. Asuka got the heat for a while. Eventually, Rhea makes a comeback, and of course, she gets a big pop from the fans, who are fully behind her. And then Kairi Sane knocked Rhea Ripley off the top rope. That caused Io Sky to run out, defending Rhea. She can watch it no more. However, as she initially fights off Kairi, she gets on the apron, and that's when that's when Kairi hits Io in the back, and Io sells it really well. And then Rhea checks on Io. She's so concerned about her, and that actually costs her the match, as it allows Asuka to win with a roll-up, and she grabs the tights. So Asuka gets her first ever pinfall victory over Rhea Ripley in this matchup. Backstage, Paul Heyman talks to Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. They're concerned about Austin Theory joining the Vision. Then we see Maxine Dupree heading to the ring. That's when Becky Lynch, after we come back, it's supposed to be a break how it's filmed, but really it all just happens in one sequence because there's no breaks. When it was posted to Netflix, you just watch it in order. So that's when Becky Lynch makes her surprise return to Raw. She cuts a promo on being robbed of the Intercontinental Championship. Maxine Dupree interrupts Becky's promo. She actually cuts a really good promo, and she challenges Becky to another match. Things get physical. Becky takes a cheap shot at Maxine. She poses with the belt, but then Maxine picks her ankle and makes her tap out to the ankle lock. So Becky tapping again to Maxine Dupree. They announced with this next segment, we found out what was going to be the next match on the show. First, Javon Evans was still talking to Adam Pearce, and then the announcement that set up after this segment was Stephanie Vaquer walks up to Adam Pearce and demands both Raquel Rodriguez and Nikki Bella in a triple threat match. She wants them both, and he sets it up for next week, and that was the big announcement. Now we get a women's triple threat match for the Women's World Championship. Stephanie Vaquer defending against both Nikki Bella and Raquel Rodriguez. The Americanos were out next. Then we get a video promo from the Usos confirming a tag team title match set up for next week. So they're building up Raw next week to be a big show. It's kind of a throwaway show. It's on the 29th, and it's, the third last day of the year? But they're trying to make it like a big show. Javon Evans was out next, and he was wearing a Santa hat. He took on Rayo Americano. Javon, of course, gets them with the OG cutter. Backstage, Kathy Kelly interviews the tag team champions AJ Styles and Dragon Lee ahead of their tag team match next week against the Usos. We see CM Punk and Rey Mysterio backstage talking, and behind them is like a whole stand of hockey sticks. And then we have Nikki Bella come out as the announcers are talking to cut a promo to hype up her triple threat match for the women's title. Nikki bragged about being a legend. Much different look for her. I'm not going to lie, I'm not the biggest Nikki Bella fan, but she looked great. She really did. And the leather, the best she's ever looked, I think, almost. And I know she's a lot older now, but she looked amazing. And she actually took some shots at the Detroit Lions and the Michigan Wolverines, as it was in Grand Rapids, Michigan. She might very well win next week. And the reason I might think that is, I kind of have that thought in my head, is she changed her look. She's not changing her look for no reason. When she came back, she had the same old look. Why is she changing her look all of a sudden? Maybe she knows she's getting another run. another title run, and she wants to have a different look. And I'm not complaining about her look, but I don't want to see her as women's champion again. Bayley was out next with Lyra Valkyria. Then Roxanne Perez comes out with Liv Morgan. Those two are golden together. They need to be a team. I'm not just saying this to be creepy or anything, but like they're both very attractive, Roxanne Perez and Liv Morgan. And when they're together, like both of their beauty makes each other stand out even more. Both of them are incredibly attractive. I don't know, maybe it's the blonde and brunette contrast, but wow, like when they're standing next to each other, it's like, ooh, they're really good looking. And then you get Bayley and Roxanne Perez, and Roxanne got the heat early on. And then Raquel Rodriguez comes out of nowhere. Lyra Valkyria attacks her, but then Liv attacks Lyra by throwing her over the barricade. Raquel attempted to distract the referee. And then Liv actually yanked Raquel from the apron. They argue. And then Lyra Valkyria takes them both out. And then Bayley ends up pinning Roxanne Perez after a top rope elbow drop. She celebrates with Lyra as the three heels are confused in the ring. Austin Theory talks to Bronson Reed to have their match, and he's telling him to, Austin's telling Bronson to follow his lead. And then we see Gunther heading to the ring. Judgment Day were backstage, and Liv and Roxanne are arguing with Raquel. And Finn and Dominic look confused. Liv and Roxanne on the same page, and Raquel goes off on her own to set up her match, and she was still upset with them because she thinks they messed up her match last week when Nikki interfered, and they're teasing a breakup. I really like Liv Rocks, and maybe the company does too because they have them aligned with each other. Liv Rocks, that should be in their team. They should absolutely be a tag team. I wouldn't mind to see them have a women's tag team title reign. That's how much I like them. Gunther was out next to, as you can expect, massive heat. They absolutely fucking hate Gunther. They loathe him. They despise him. Every single person there was booing, and I don't think they were piping in the boos. Grand Rapids genuinely hated this man. He's milking it for all his worth. He cuts a quick promo feeding off the crowd heat, once again calling John Cena a little bitch. And then the segment is interrupted by CM Punk. He goes to the ring and they have an intense stare down. And then Gunther walks up the ramp. That's when he does the "you can't see me" pose. Then Rey Mysterio comes out next. They have a stare down. They exchange some words. Then after that, we actually went backstage, and that's when Gunther confronts AJ Styles again. AJ asks to see if he's going to shut up as he's mocking John Cena. Gunther says something, then laughs. They preview next week's show. Then Division come out, and we get CM Punk and Rey Mysterio taking on Bronson Reed and Austin Theory in the main event. It ends with Theory pinning Rey Mysterio after hitting a curb stomp. That worries me that they're going to have Austin Theory feud with Seth Rollins. Maybe they think Seth's going to come back for WrestleMania, which I hope he doesn't, and we get Austin Theory and Seth Rollins. But then Braun Breaker spears CM Punk to end the show after he tried to fight them off. Then he gets speared, and that's how the show ended, just like last week with Punk taking a spear. And Raw was taped. It was a shorter show. It was only an hour and a half tonight, so it was much shorter than usual. And I thought it was fine. For a tape show, I thought it was easy to watch. I didn't mind it. I actually kind of liked it. And it got me excited, kind of for next week, but really for 2 weeks for the debut on, or the 1 year anniversary since the debut on Netflix. That's going to be a big show, the first Raw of 2026. And as I said, as I will say when you hear my year in review, I just hope 2026 is a better year for WWE than 2025. So it was a Christmas themed Raw. I want to mention this quickly. Netflix actually has a new logo screen that's Christmas themed, and you hear a bell, and originally you think, well, it's a kind of bell you would hear like with Jingle Bells, Christmas, stuff like that. No, it's actually the Stranger Things bell. If you watch the show, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm a big Stranger Things fan. Not a long-term fan. Once I got Netflix with WWE, I actually started watching Stranger Things, and man, it's an incredible show. I've watched all the episodes, all of them, binge watched them all, and I'm looking forward to the new one, the finale, Volume 2, that comes out on Christmas Day, and then on New Year's Eve is the series finale. So I'm a big fan of that. So there was also talk that WWE might do a crossover with Stranger Things. I think Liv Morgan was actually at the premiere of the Volume 1 release on Thanksgiving in the U.S., I believe. Or she was there at the premiere probably a week or two before, but I'd like to see that. I don't mind it. I mean, probably too late now. The show's going to end, but I'm a big Stranger Things fan. Just wanted to mention that, and this was, of course, a Christmas themed show. If you hear this and it's Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, even whatever, want to wish everyone a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Hope you're spending time with your families, whatever you celebrate, whether it's Christmas or not. Wish you nothing but the best, and thank you for watching this video. And hopefully, the content I'm reviewing with the WWE is better in 2026 than it was in 2025.